always magic in the air. On Broadway. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had
Took me forever. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted a bit. There was one restaurant on Masson Street that was called Promenade Masson or Pot Masson, I guess you could say in English, and I just kind of realized the connection. Pot Masson is essentially the French term for mason jar. How did it take me 2 years to figure that out? I'm slow. Nevertheless, welcome to another edition of the Wananyuki Cheese Cafe. It's the start of my vacation right now, and you probably saw I was posting a little bit about it earlier, but I thought I would be doing a little bit of a wander, given that it is a Sunday afternoon. I don't have to worry about getting any rush to home to get back to work on the Monday, because, you know, I still got a week off, time to do whatever I want to do.
They say that I won't last too long on Broadway.
But I do have to say that it is also amazing just how much of a difference 1 year can make. Because I do recall I was taking my vacation around the same time last year, and it was actually a lot warmer over that weekend. It did get cold in the beginning of the week, but besides that, it was warm enough that I was actually able to enjoy some terrace beers for myself, even if it was kind of packed on some of them. If you want to see that video again, I'll put a card in the top right corner where I did a walk along Saint Laurent yet again, went over to Vices and Versa, and then to Ile de Gare for the first time in a full episode. Once again, one of my favorite spots in Rosemont. And speaking of Rosemont, this is exactly where I am right now. I was wondering where I could cover, because I've done a few videos outside of my usual zone, because I'm trying to make a conscious effort of doing some different material outside of my grandmother's neighborhood and etc. But it was just something else calling me back once again. It's like a comfort area for me these days in the last few years. I don't know if it's post-COVID, me thinking more about my family, or the fact that it's April right now for family reasons too. I don't know. It's probably a bit of everything, but we're gonna jump right to this. But before we do that, here's my one suggestion for you. Hit that subscribe button below and put your notification bell on. That way, if you have a new video coming up, you're gonna get a pop-up, it's already on your phone. And give me a thumbs up, like this video. The more likes I get, the more it's gonna be promoted across YouTube. So you are helping me more than you think.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend to.
Nice to see this spot is still open. I probably talked about this a lot in my previous videos, but it's a funny story to share with the answer probably watching this. Gatti is a place where my grandmother was probably going to be getting cakes for us whenever we were doing family gatherings. And for some strange reason, she was always obsessed with getting a Black Forest cake. She'd get that and kind of stick with for I don't know how many years. I think we all kind of got bored of it because it was the only thing we ever ate. That's why we try to diversify our cakes a little bit more. And this is on St. Michel Boulevard. In terms of the public transit routes, this is the one that I remember the most going to visit my grandmother. When my dad was around, we don't really, I don't recall taking this route as much with him. It was always going to be on Beaubien to Papineau or Delorme out west. This part was just easier to take the bus with because it was frequent. And this is back at a time when the buses would come every 3 minutes at rush hour or less. But gives me a bit of more exercise because I am walking uphill right now. So can't say I'm not going to be burning any calories. I am going to need to get something to drink though because I am kind of thirsty.
Stuck on you. Got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. Needing a friend, and the way I feel now.
The Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, my old church. First Communion was held over here, went to countless masses, including the Easter Mass that used to last around 4 hours. think I've heard that they mostly do digital masses now, like especially in the wake of COVID. But in terms of turnout, I really can't tell you. I feel like that as time went on and there were First Communions happening later in the family, that there weren't as many people as it was during the peak era, just like around when I was doing my First Communion. In fact, I was looking at some of the video footage I had from when I was getting my First Communion. It was a lot of people there. Like, it was packed and lively. Not to mention when I saw that, I got a mental image of the smell of the church. Because an old style church with all the old wood, stone, or whatever building material they use at the time, it has a distinct aroma, I guess you could say. But that could be true of almost every old building now. But conveniently, whenever Mass was over, my grandmother lived right around here on 10th Avenue in Rosemont, so we'd be able to go visit her afterwards or visit her before going to Mass. So that's kind of why I have a fond memory of this area. Maybe not so much the Mass, because I didn't really understand Ukrainian at the time, and even now I can only recite a few words offhand. But, you know, just the family nostalgia.
Rainy day people always seem to know when it's time to call. Rainy day people don't talk, they just listen till they've heard it all. Rainy day lovers don't lie when they tell you they've been down like you.
Don't mind me, I kind of got lost in thought right now. Just thinking back to old memories, thinking back to childhood and times that are long gone. Yep, got once again fond memories of this area growing up. And going a little bit north, I'm now on Beaubien Street East. You already know me. I've already documented this a lot of times, especially when I was doing videos on my grandmother. I'm not going to get too much into the detail on it, but I am going to encourage you to click that card in the top right corner that you see, because that was one of my largest projects, going around the city of Montreal to try to retrace my grandmother's story from when she first came to Canada and finding all of the places she lived, at the same time as my mom and where my aunts were living when they were all born. It was a bittersweet moment when I think about it. And I think it was even more bittersweet because I could tell when I look back at the footage that it was recorded at the end of a vacation. There's something about the last few days where you realize you're going back to work that, you know, it just hits you. Beaubien. And yep, that Dairy Queen is still up. And this is something that kind of caught my attention. I did read about it online, but I had to make sure of it myself. The Provigo grocery store here looks like it's closing, but apparently I read online that it's going to be reopened as a Maxi after a few renovations. It's something that's long gone now, because every time we needed to get some groceries, we would always go across the street from my grandmother's place to that Provigo to get stuff. And that's where she used to get those blueberry turnovers for us all the time. I was obsessed with them as a kid because I don't think I was able to get the same ones at any other grocery stores. Still, it's not hard to believe that you'd be getting a nostalgia for a grocery store, but people do look back on Steinberg's with fond memories also. If you're wondering what the heck Steinberg's is, well, let me put it this way. You're probably too young to know what it was. It's a little bit like me with Eaton's and trying to explain that to people.
Always seem to know when you're feeling blue. High stepping strutters who land in the gutter sometimes need one too. Take it or leave it, or try to believe it.
I guess I could say that this part of Montreal on the East End is the one that I'm most fond of just from growing up. Rosemont, I've documented numerous times. I've even done a video around St. Leonard to show where I was exploring on Jean-Thonon Street East, close to where my grandparents had lived over there, grandparents on my dad's side of the family, and even in Anjou, because we went there a lot since one of my mom's best friends used to live there, or close to Anjou. So we'd always make trips around that general area, and it's kind of why, like I said, I wanted to make visits again and again as time went on. And we did a lot of drives here with my dad when I was young. Plus, after he passed away, we still came up around here to keep busy, and we did a lot of bus, subway travels around here. So looking back, I kind of feel like that's kind of what helped me become a wanderer, or at least someone that enjoys exploring the city on foot, or at least by public transit. So I did have a few times in the past where I was just hopping around, bus, metro, finding random places to explore. This is back at the time where it was like peak record shopping, maybe video game stores. So those are always the points of interest for me to check out. Now as time went on, I've gone back to look for bars, restaurants, cafes, and instead of always relying on public transit, I do a lot of exploration on foot. Because like I've said, Montreal, the island itself, is very, very walkable. Like, it's so easy to get around on foot, at least in the central part. Of course, I'm going to probably keep doing videos from this area, but I will try to make a conscious effort to explore new parts of the city that I haven't covered as much in the last few years. So that's still a goal of mine. And now, I feel like I need to get some something to drink, like a coffee, because I am thirsty, and luckily there's a few spots close by.
Flying me back to Memphis. Gotta find my Daisy Jane. Well, the summer's gone, and I hope she's feeling the same. Well, I left her just to roam the city, thinking it would ease the pain. I'm a crazy man, and I'm playing my crazy game. Does she really love me? I think she does. Like the stars above me, I know because
Very, very comforting, especially with this kind of weather that we're having. So I probably covered this spot a few times on my channel before, but if you're to go across from Molson Park, there are a couple of nice restaurants, cafes that are worth checking out, and this is one of them, La Brassée. And the unique thing is that it's a cafe, but you could also get a drink on tap, a glass of wine, even a spirit if you want. In the back is also a laundromat, which apparently I didn't even realize was a thing, that you could do your laundry while grabbing a coffee or having a pint. But there's also a couple of books around here, some art that you could see hanging around that you could purchase. That was actually the first way that I saw that, wait a minute, you can actually buy art in the coffee shop. But I suppose if you're just getting started out, then that kind of makes sense that you want to get some kind of exposure and do something before you can carry on. But I love this place because one of the beauties too for me is that the beer that they have available is Boreal. So obviously I could get my IPA du Nord-Est if I wanted to. But truth be told, I'm not really in the beer mood just yet. It felt like I needed to get a little bit of a booster, something that's a bit more comforting, like I said, for the rain. And what I got was a little cortado for myself. I've already told you what that is before. Cortado is essentially a bit of espresso with some warm milk added to the top. And the origin of that is actually not Italian, because I know you would think espresso, Italian, but the origin is from Spain. I didn't know if I was to go back to Madrid again. I'll probably enjoy cortado just as much. So overall, I like the spot, especially when they have the terrace outside right on the Beaubien Street East. If you want to see one of those times I covered it, this is 2 years ago, or at least almost 2 years ago, on my oldies walk. And I'm going to put a card in the top right corner for you to click on that and give it a viewing, because that one was kind of fun. It was one of the first full-fledged episodes where I was trying to explore the area while also using the soundtrack of my parents as a bit of a backdrop for it, before I really knew how to integrate that. So it was a starter episode, but it was fantastic.
well, the clouds are clearing, and I think we're over the storm.
Gotta love a good afternoon coffee. One thing I did forget to mention is that this is actually a spot where you can actually sit down and watch a show too. So that means if there's some local artists that are playing, like I think it was after 8 o'clock, you can sit down, have a drink, and watch the music. So it's also pretty fun to do that as well. The only downside now is that it's raining and I'm missing my sunglasses, because despite the fact that it's raining and there's no sun, the sunglasses are part of my style, so I like to try to maintain that part of me. I'm gonna keep walking, maybe take a break to see if I left it in the pocket without realizing it, and then I'm gonna find the next stop to see where I'm gonna get something to eat and possibly have a pint. Because it's vacation time. That's what the vacation's all about.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just dip me some talking to the sun.
Passing by another great spot here, Chez Roger. It's got the bistro here and the boudoir, which I'm guessing the boudoir is supposed to be a fancy name for their bar, but good stuff because I've had their beef tartare before and their salmon tartare. Salmon tartare has actually had a lot of, I think, dill yogurt in it, which is pretty awesome. I did cover that twice on my channel before. Once when I was revisiting the area where my grandmother lived, but the other one was when I first started doing a walk around Maisonneuve Park. Made my way to Le Grand Lionel, close to my grandmother's, and then here. If you want to see that episode, I'm going to put a card in the top right corner for you as well. I think that's also another one that I was recording during the end of my vacation, and I was getting a little bit of a bittersweet vibe when I was talking about it. I think we're getting a running theme now of the bittersweet episodes. Kind of makes me think that I was talking about doing an episode of which episodes I think of and what was going on in my life at that time, almost like a video journal. I'm going to do that eventually, just looking for the right time.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
You know, there's a part of me that's wondering maybe if I should go back, because Chez Roger had a pretty awesome beer selection. And there's also a spot called La Boulette that I've been meaning to check out that apparently has some pretty good burgers there. They got tartare, but I already do enough tartare at home especially that I don't need to go out as much for that. Okay, choice has been made. I'm heading there.
Nothing's worrying me.
Yep. I think this was a case of sometimes the simplest idea is probably the best idea to pursue. So Chez Roger is close by, just a hop and a skip away from La Brassée, and I thought, let's just go back here once again. Because I like the beer selection, I do like the decor around here, and even right now the music is pretty awesome. There's a lot of jazz that's being played, which kind of feels perfect for a dim lit bar like this. If I remember correctly, I think I read this place was opened up around like 1962, but anyone who knows Rosemont better than me can leave it in the comments and let me know if I'm right. But something else I remember too was that I was looking up, like there was some random groups of Rosemont on Facebook I've seen where they're asking where are some of the best beef tartare you could find around, and this place actually has one of them by a lot of accounts. I've had it here, it's pretty awesome, and yeah, what else can I say? I love my beef tartare. But I'm not here for the tartare today, I'm here for one of my regular beers. So it's from Brassée de Montreal, a brewer that I know pretty well, located in Griffintown, and I'm having their hazy IPA that's called Normandville. Given the fact that I'm in Rosemont, I feel like this is the appropriate one. So, cheers to the Rosemont roots. Thing of beauty. And the other thing of beauty is that this thing is only about 4.7%, so compared to other IPAs, it's not that strong at all. Really satisfying. Looking around here though, I kind of find it funny that the last time that I was actually here, and I'm not just talking about on camera, the last legit time was also raining, and I come back here on a rainy day too, so kind of funny how that works. And even my first visit, I documented this place, it does seem like it was one of the colder days in August where I had to wear a sweater. I don't know, crazy how it works. Anyways, Brassée de Montréal and Trou du Diable seem to be the main brewers that they sell over here, but there are a couple of oddities here and there, like you can get Heineken if you wanted to have something Dutch, but the other thing I found funny is Laurent Sid is on tap, which is amazing because, you know, you think of some of those old classic skunky beers like Labatt 50, Molson X, Old Milwaukee, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Some bars will have them more so than others, like Pabst is actually hard to find that on tap. Maybe a couple of bars will have that. Carling Black Label, I've never seen that on tap anywhere whatsoever. Not even Old Milwaukee. I wonder maybe if I went to the United States, maybe they have some of that on tap. But Laurent Cid is also in that similar ballpark range. But the funny thing is that it's one of those beers that even though it's a little bit like a Molson, you can't really buy it in store. You can only buy it at the SAQ or the Quebec Liquor Commission. So you want to go there, you want to get a nice bottle of wine from Italy, maybe a bottle of scotch, maybe get my Laurent Cid, the 6-pack. I don't know how they did that, but it does kind of amuse me. And while I'm working on this, I will have to debate. There is one spot that I want to hit up across the street, but maybe before I go there, I don't know. I might do a little bit of Laurent Cid before I go there for my actual meal. Stay tuned. We're going to see what happens. And by which I mean that when I say stay tuned, there's a pretty good chance it is going to happen. Yep, to the surprise of no one, I had to do another round, and I had to do a Laurent Cid, as you would expect. Because once again, you really can't find this beer as much around here compared to all the other classic beers. It's really only on tap or at the Liquor Commission around here. Funny enough, I was looking at some of the stuff that's offered on bottle, and one of the ones they do is Laurent Cid, but given it one of those 710 milliliter bottles, which, you know, you see Carling Black Label, you see Labatt, you see some of those other old beers that are in the giant bottle. And while it is kind of interesting to be able to take one of those and split it, honestly, my rule of thumb is that if I'm coming to a bar, unless it's only available in can or bottle, I'm not going to take any of those because I can do a bottle or can at home. There's just something about the texture, the taste, and the feel of a beer when it's pressurized from a keg and on tap. So I'm doing it this way here. Cheers to, well, whatever you want to celebrate. Yep, tastes skunky, and that's just the way that I want it. Just the way my dad would have liked it. Yeah, it's been on my mind a bit, because I think back to March, April, the fact that I'm in my grandmother's old hood, so there's a lot of thoughts about my family that are coming to my mind right now, so it's almost like I'm doing a little bit of a tribute and reminiscing about the good times that we all had. It's really all that we could do. I'm only human after all. Sometimes I can get a little bit lost in my emotions and thoughts. Am I right? Oh, dead silence. Yeah. Anyways, good beer. So there's always a case of better late than never, and this is one of those cases I have to say. So, La Boulette. This is one of those spots I pass by a lot on my walks along Beaubien and exploring in Rosemont. And I remember that my uncle had told me about the spot because he was looking up on Instagram, and there was like some videos of good burger places you could check out around the city, and this happened to be one of them where he was asking, okay, do you know the spot? And I told him no, but it's something I passed by a lot and I had to check out at one of these days. It took me about a year to get to here, but I'm glad I got to here because I felt like better late than never, like I keep saying. So based on this area, it seemed like it's par for the course when it comes to restaurants in the Rosemont area. It's like very quaint, very compact, but you do have a nice vibe over here. And from what I could see, we got a decent wine selection and some good beers on tap. You're not going to get the extensive beers on tap like you would at some other places. You got maybe, I would say 5 at best, but the ones they do have are pretty awesome. And I had to get one of my regulars here, the St. Ambroise New England IPA. This one is awesome. It's almost like, it's like par for like the Boreal IPA du Nord-Est, very similar, just maybe a little bit stronger. But you know what? New England IPA is New England IPA, no matter how you slice it. Beautiful. And there's a couple of good things I see on the menu here. Like they got tataki de boeuf, there's salmon tartare, beef tartare, a good bunch of burgers over here. But I'm thinking of going to either for a classic burger, or there's another kind of burger that caught my eye just because of the name. And we'll see how that one is very soon. Super lovely. So I was looking around at all the burgers that were there, and I thought the classic one, that would be like the best litmus test to know if I was going to be enjoying the regular burger and if I want to come back again. But there was another one that caught my eye over here just because of the name and the ingredient. There was the regular, like the classic, or the Beaubien. The big difference between the two is that the Beaubien actually has some bacon in it, and you know me, I like my bacon, I like my salty pig, and given the fact I'm on Beaubien Street East, it means I had to get a burger that was representative of Beaubien, period. And one thing I do kind of like too is that you can get a whole variety of mayonnaises as well. Like you don't just get regular mayo, you can customize it based on what your tastes are. So what I ended up doing was I got myself a curry mayonnaise because you get spicy mayo, you get, like I didn't look at the menu fully, I just looked at the mayos and I thought, okay, curry mayo, I'm going to try that out. Also, these fries just look pretty awesome. Yep. No argument with that. And I'm going to give this a little taste test to see if it passes the test. Because let's face it, bacon with salty pig with a burger patty, you really can't mess that up. Très bien ici, merci. Yep, this is amazing. This is amazing. And something else I've been looking at on the menu too is that there's a whole bunch of burgers here that are kind of unique, like ones you can not necessarily find in other spots. Like I've seen there's the fried chicken one, which I've seen a couple of times, fish ones, a shiitake mushroom burger that in case you're a vegetarian, they have that as an option. But the most unique one was, hang on, I don't want to talk with my mouth too full, but the most unique one was seeing that they have a duck confit or like a pulled duck confit burger, which that's the first time. I've never seen a burger done with that before. I've had duck confit. It's pretty awesome, tasty and very tender. It's just one of those things that if you're going to do it on your own at home, it's going to take a bit of time. But if you want to see that time I tried duck confit, I'm going to put a card in the top right corner and you'll see that I went to the bungalow at the Plateau Montreal for an amazing little duck confit leg with the first time I've ever tried Brussels sprouts in my life. Oh yeah. This is awesome. Filling and satisfying. That's really all you can expect when you're going to be ordering a burger from a nice little joint here. The burger was tasty, salty pig. Well, bacon is tasty anyway, so it doesn't matter how you look at it. And the fries are excellent. I think based on the color, I thought at first I had some curry mayonnaise, but it turns out it was actually a smoked paprika that I ordered. So I guess I got confused for a little bit. But overall, it's amazing. And given some of the other burgers I saw and the beef tartare that's on the menu, I am going to have to come back here one of these days. But until then, I'm just going to finish off this beer and probably get myself a coffee before I hit the road because we do have a pretty good coffee machine here. And given the fact that it's past, what time is it? Oh yeah, 7 o'clock on a Sunday. Chances are most coffee shops are going to be closed unless you're going for the big chains. So I think I'll get a good quality one before I hit the road. Stay tuned once again. Great burger, great brew. There's like 5 beers that they have on tap that I can see. And since I'm at the bar, I can give you a little rundown. There's the Cheval Blanche or Cheval Blanc. There's the Bellegueule Red, the Bellegueule Blonde, the Saint-Ambroise New England IPA, and the Bellegueule Raspberry Beer. So they got a good variety just in case you want to have a certain kind of brew with your burger. As much as I enjoyed those, and as much as I would think I would want to do another one, the truth is I've had a good run, and I should probably get a little bit of an energizer before I can get on home in one piece. Because even though I'm on vacation, I do have to make sure I'm energetic enough and functional enough that I can do my usual stuff around home. And this one that I got over here is an allongé. And if you've been to a restaurant before and you ask for a coffee, most likely it's going to be a single shot of espresso, like a short, or they're going to ask for a tall or an allongé. So it's just like one shot of espresso with a bit of extra water in there to give like the idea that you're drinking a regular coffee. What they'll also do is that they'll give you this bit of milk on the side if you ask for it, so that you can take some of the bite out of it. So it's a great way to get yourself a little bit of caffeine while you're re-energizing, but also, I probably had a good thought in mind, but I'm kind of forgetting my thought process. All I know is that I've had a good run today, good revisit of the old neighborhood around the Rosemont when I grew up, good revisit to La Brassée, Chez Roger, and also rediscovering a new spot in La Boulette. Overall, satisfying, great way to end the first weekend while I'm on vacation. And there's going to be more stuff to come in due time. But until then, thanks for watching this latest edition of the Wanriki Cheese Cafe. So once again, if you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy my antics, my stories, my wanders, and etc. And if you have an idea for an episode in the future, leave in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do. Till then, take care. See you next time, and see you well whenever this video drops. Because of my schedule these days, I seem to do everything in advance, and the next thing you know, a month passes before it does drop. And who knows, maybe down the road, I won't be doing this all alone. Maybe I'll eventually have a partner in crime. I am pushing 40 after all, right? I can't be doing this alone forever.
Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain, telling me just what a fool I've been. I wish that it would go and let me cry in vain, and let me be alone again. The only girl I care about has gone away, looking for a brand new start. But little does she know that when she left that day, along with her she took my heart. Rain, please tell me now, does that seem fair? For her to steal my heart away when she don't care. I can't love another when my heart's somewhere far away. The only girl I care about has gone away, looking for a brand new start. But little does she know that when she left that day, along with her she took my heart.